Hey guys, welcome to the MC Anime Podcast. We cover anime, geek culture, Japanese aesthetics, and Asian studies. We are a multi-fandom podcast, and you can expect to hear topics in your favorite hobby or fandom activity potentially. You can find MC Anime on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, please check out mcanimepodcast.com, our website. Furthermore, stay tuned in for another episode.
Welcome to another episode of MC Anime. I'm MC Anime. I got my fellow co-host with me today, Leah. How you doing?
Hey everyone. I'm pretty good. Another beautiful day, sunny out. It's still cold, which is terrible, but outside of that, pretty good.
I mean, cold's pretty good. We were continuing, I think, the last episode of the Motif series. We're doing arc numbers. You want to explain what arc numbers are?
Yeah, traditionally arc numbers in shows are themed numbers that appear continuously, whether it be an arrangement of protagonists or the main group of characters, any clues that might pop up, any sequence of events. It's just a recurring number of actions and noticeable things that happen throughout a show or throughout an episode that kind of ties things together and has it within one circular theme. So that's what we're doing today.
Yep. And one famous example of arc number that we see a lot is Elite Four, the top four characters of a show, or the elite being the four characters who are the most powerful, stuff like that. Pokemon is very famous for the Elite Four. You always see them coming in. You know, all that stuff. That's one famous example. What do you think of the Elite Four trope?
For me, I have a more like affinity for the three, like the grouping of three. But
Yeah, the
four,
trio.
I find fine. Just sometimes I don't know if the story can be distributed evenly unless they kind of break them in pairs. That's why I normally lean towards three. But you are right. It is a very popular trope that's used throughout shows. Um, and it can help like divide an episode even in quarters as you follow whoever is the main character of whatever section of the show it is.
Yeah, it's very difficult of the fact that four is even and four is a perfect square, and the square root of four is two, which is just half of four. So you know what? It just keeps working out. And you can, as you said, pairing teams always do really good with four. A trio, they usually either do single or do all tag team related with the three of them. You can't really split it up. You can only split it up three different ways. Or you can do one group of three. So,
Yeah, grouping of threes, I mean, the one I can think of maybe four is the main group in Bleach. But if I immediately think of like groupings of three, I think of any of the shinobi squads that are in Naruto, where it's just the set going with them. And then even if I think of something popular like Dragon Ball or whatever, I'm really only thinking of Goku and Vegeta. Rarely am I including like a third member. It's never like they include a third member. They always include like 17 other people if they go and do a mission. So yeah.
Well, the first example that we are going to discuss, like for this, is we're going to discuss Dragon Ball with the theme of seven, and this also implies to Reborn as well, Hitman Reborn.
Yeah, because Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dragon Ball. It's the staple. It's like the godfather of anime. Everyone's heard of
Yeah.
it. It's similar like with Pokemon, in all of its iterations. But the one key
Mhm.
thing about Dragon Ball is the Dragon Balls, the seven
Yeah.
Dragon Balls. Yeah. So, within the show, and for those who maybe not haven't seen it, Dragon Ball is a like a Shonen Jump classic, the fighting
Mhm.
anime, that follows the story of Son Goku, and there's Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, GT, all of those. But essentially, he spends his time training and fighting with a group of other warriors, including his children, against aliens and monsters and kind of like supernatural beings of different realms. And he always just wants to be the strongest fighter, so he never says no to a fight. And
Mhm.
there is a magical element that's introduced in Dragon Ball. Um, uh, that is literally the name of the show, where they are these orange orbs that have are numbered 1 through 7 with stars. And if you collect all 7 around the globe of Earth, you summon Chiron, a giant dragon, who will
And
grant
he
you
grants
3
a wish.
wishes. Hmm?
I think it 3 wishes or 1 wish.
3 wishes.
Oh, okay.
I think it's 3 wishes.
I know he just grants us a wish. I don't know how many. I don't know.
Oh wait, no, I lied. It's 1 wish. It's 1 wish. He's
Yeah,
not
I
a
was like,
genie.
yeah.
He's not a genie. I don't know why in my mind I was like, ah, yeah, definitely.
She wants a genie. Like, oh gosh, we don't need no trickery. I'd
No,
be
and
really
he's never
amazing.
excited to see anyone.
uh, I just see it on the fan art with Dragon Ball and Chiron. It's kind of funny.
I do like I don't know if you've ever seen the abridged series for Dragon Ball. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's pretty great. You can just go on YouTube, type in Team 4 Star, and they have the whole Dragon Ball Z beginning series abridged. So if you've seen the show, it's even funnier. And if you haven't seen the show, you still get the premise of it. And the way they play Shinron is hilarious in that too. He's so aggravated with the foolishness of the protagonist, which is fair. It's
Oh my
Goku.
gosh! And to do a bridge series right, all they have to do is have the copyright disclaimer at the beginning of the video, and all rights belong to the original creators and all that stuff. Did they do that?
Oh yeah, they do that every episode. I think
Yeah.
all of the parody spoof ones started doing that, especially with YouTube changing copyright laws. So to avoid, naturally getting their stuff taken down, even if they
Well,
don't collect any money for it, they still have to do the disclaimer.
yeah, they do the disclaimer to minimize the chances of getting copyright strike, but they can still get a copyright strike. It's not guaranteed. They
Yeah,
just
no.
minimize the impact.
Hmm.
Just like par- parodies are good, but you should watch. You should also support the original too. So don't always rely on the parody. Parody should be like a backup after you watched
I mean, I don't know. It's Dragon Ball. Like
it.
you can read it, you can watch it. No one is going to quiz you if you talk about Dragon Ball. Like I think newer shows like Dragon
Mhm.
Slayer or something like that, they'll quiz you. But I think for Dragon Ball, if you're just like
Yeah.
Goku, always fighting, Vegeta, always losing, Boba has blue hair, and they'll be like, he knows the whole show. Bing
Yep.
bang boom, you got it.
And the theme of seven really comes through for like the 7 Dragon Balls. There's 7
Hmm.
major story arcs in the manga. By the end of the manga, there's only 7 Saiyans: Goku, Vegeta, and the hybrids Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Bra, and Pan. There's only 7 surviving, but that's at the end. The tournaments that were major events in the first part all took place on the 7th. Also, the entire series takes place in Universe 7. Isn't that a little weird?
I mean, 7 is a very lucky number in almost all cultures, especially in
Yeah,
Japanese
7 days of the
culture.
week.
So, huh?
7 days of the week.
Yes, also 7 days of the week, which probably explains why Goku and them get so many chances and
Yeah,
so many, like, resurrections. They literally every time you're like, "No one should survive this." Like, and even when people don't survive it, they still get a second chance because Universe 7 is just weirdly very lucky. They they are blessed by the gods.
yeah, that's it's interesting how that works out. Can't really put my finger on it, but it feels like the luck can't always be in their favor, though.
I mean, there's plenty of times where things go south, and the show does get pretty intense because you're also, of course, you're watching people fight, so you get really hyped up into it. But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna come out winning in some way, somehow, because, like, it's Goku, you know? Like,
So,
they always figure out some insane, crazy way to make it so either even if he dies, like, they figure it out.
yeah, that's yeah, true. And Hitman Reborn. We're gonna briefly touch on it because we already did a previous episode of Hitman Reborn discussing it. The number 7, we have the 7 Valoria Guardians, the 7 Gargabelio, the 7 Real Funeral Reefs, 7 Flames of the Sky and Earth. Most important one is the Tri set, or the 7 to the 3rd power, 3 sets of 3 rings, which is the 7 Valoria rings, the Mirror rings, and the Arcabello pacifiers. Also, 7 of 3 is also said to be the foundation of the will. What do you think about that? Especially your 7 Arcabellos, which is the babies.
Mhm. I'm still not over them being assassin babies, but I mean, it is what it is. It's freaking creepy. No, like, I didn't sign up for this. I thought it was gonna be a cute sidekick. Um, but with it being 7, I don't know. I think 7 also, if you look at it in any formation, like, even the way that it can angle forward, just a good number. It's a solid standing, and since every single one of them has their own unique thing, or like theme to their fighting style and their character, yeah, I mean, I can see why they mirrored everything off of 7. Also, it just makes the story easier to follow since they're blending Japanese and, what is he, Italian?
Yeah.
Is he Italian? Yeah. They're blending Japanese and Italian themes, as well as words,
Mhm.
in story arcs. So yeah, I think the 7 being a constant repetitious, number to pop up just makes it easier to follow along. If they constantly
Mm.
changed it, I think it could get very confusing, especially how far the show goes.
Yeah, it get more confusing. Because you just keep seeing, you don't even realize those 7 is a theme until you look at it like, oh, it's 7. you know,
Oh yeah, if you look at it from a distance, but I think if you binge watch the show, like, did you notice that when you were watching it?
yeah, I knew there was like 7 of them, but I didn't like connect Arc Number with it. I noticed there's like 7 kept a couple times 7 rings and 7 protagonists, but like it just didn't connect. It didn't connect until we did Arc Number. We'll just say that.
Okay, okay. I was like, hmm,
I'm not
what
like,
they do.
oh, I didn't like make an, oh, that's 7. I went, ooh, yeah. I didn't make that like obvious epiphany, but no.
Yeah, I did think it was interesting because you had mentioned a Trini set,
Yeah.
and like, naturally, TRI tree, like, that's 3. So
Mhm.
for it being like 7 to the 3rd power, I had to look at it and like really look what it meant. But I guess it refers to the 7 rings, which are
Yeah.
worn whenever like a new family member is
Mhm.
added. The pacifiers that you see with all the babies, just never gonna get over that. And then the mare rings,
Yeah,
which
that's
I'm not
the
really sure what
Assassin
those
Squad.
are.
These are the Assassination Squad. they are the other group that has
Okay.
ties to the Vigolia family.
Interesting. Yeah, but if you look at any of the imagery from the show, it shows
Mhm.
them in the like trifecta, kind of like in
Yeah.
a triangle of 3
Mhm.
points. So,
Yep.
and then it's around the earth, I think.
Mhm.
So, the supernatural aspect of it as well, it seems
Mhm.
very like ritualistic. It's like 777,
Yeah.
but it's regrettably a very cool show, even with the weird assassin babies.
I'm
They
gonna
have a
basically
song for it?
yeah.
No, I was looking, the Trini set has a song. I'm just like,
Oh
why?
gosh. I mean, I so and also one thing I want to mention is Fairy Tail has the 7 as arc number. The dragons disappeared in the year X77 on the 7th of July, the 7th month of the year, 7 years before the series begins. Same year, 7 year time skip in the middle of the series. In the Grand Magic Games, there's 7 guilds chosen to participate in the tournament. Uh, with a total of 8 teams, but that's Fairy Tail being 2 teams. Um, the tournament has 7 dragons bought from the past, fought by the 7 Dragon Slayers, Natsu, Jadniel, Windy, Laxus, Cobra, Sting, and Rogue. What do you think of Fairy Tail with this theme of 7?
Honestly, when it gets to that extent, I do kind of feel like no, I was thinking about this that for most things that when they have the 3 that set up,
Yeah.
um, it can condense things, but when you have 7 of anything, you can just keep going forever. And it
Yeah.
also, I don't know why, but it always makes things seem that much more, I don't know, like legitimate. It's like
Uh-huh.
if you're like the 10 nights of whatever, and it's like the 7 tournaments of something something, and you're just like, oh, okay, that sounds so much more legit. 7 of them. And so I think Fairy Tail like pulls that off really well. Also, Fairy Tail doesn't care about your time because they said we're going to do a time skip in the middle of the
Yeah.
show. And I'm just like, well, that's kind of disrespectful. Every other show you see, when they do a time skip, if it's not a part of like a isekai like setup, how they do in like Tokyo Revengers, it's when they're going into like the next phase of the series.
Yeah.
They don't just up and leave you and say see you in like 50 years or something. So um I respect Fairy Tale for their commitment to the number, but I do think it's just because it makes everything sound a lot cooler and a
Yeah.
lot more like mystical.
True. And there's one show notorious for time skips. That's Doctor Who. They go through so many time skips, it's ridiculous.
I tried watching Doctor Who, but it's one of those shows where it's been on so long. Kind of like if you start, like I started watching the original Star Trek and forward,
Oh
and it
god.
takes so long, and some of the same stuff keeps happening that you literally are just bashing your head into the wall, and you're just like, "Oh my God, Kurt!" And like every episode, I'm screaming, and That's how I feel Doctor Who is because I'm watching it and I can't
Oh god.
start at the later seasons because they keep referencing stuff from like 20 years ago. I don't know British slang anyway, so I can't just pretend like I know what's going on. I gotta Google and do homework. It's stupid. I hate it. I hate it so much.
And the mystery of Doctor Who, let's go to case close.
Case Closed is one of those like kind of old school,
Mhm.
fun, like 90s, um, essentially like Sherlock Holmes, uh, solve the case with the protagonist things. If you like
Um,
Scooby Doo Gang, you'll like Case Closed.
and also, disclaimer, he's a boy, he's a man, but he's cursed to be looking as a what? Teenage boy?
No. He's a teenage boy who is cursed to turn into a child.
Yeah.
to solve cases. It's very. I don't know why. I forgot why is he cursed anyway.
I don't.
It's like
Right.
every time they decide to let him use his brain. I can't remember if I look it up and it's a spoiler. I'm not gonna say it, but I just think that's ridiculous. That every time this child tries to solve any case, he just turns into a kid, from teenager to kid, because he's a 17-year-old master detective.
Yeah, he fits a prodigy pretty well.
I will say, watching it as a kid, like I would get stressed out because some of them were just like straight up murder cases, and then they would have like a creepy vibe to them and like a who done it and supernatural element to it that he would have to figure out. Um,
Yeah.
and so that always messed with me as watching
Oh,
it, but I still tried to figure it out with him. I like sometimes I got it right, and other times I was just like I was way off. I was gonna send an innocent man to jail,
mhm.
no problem.
That's
But
right. Strictly, the story plays out in a real time, but realistically, is that the one with the author assuming the cases appear in chronological order, ever age, or even graduate. Oh gosh, this is a conspiracy that Detective Cohon even ages.
he never ages.
I don't know if it's another Ash weapon. Please help me.
Uh oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. But the arc number in case close, it has to deal with specific. It's like it's very specific in its arc number. It deals with 4869. All of that together. Um, that's the arc number. This comes in with the Goisei number for Sherlock. It's been used frequently as a password for various devices, as its code and numbers even. It's also been a license plate. What you think of 4869 as a repeating number?
What is it? The 4869.
Yeah.
I was looking it up because it's supposed to be the Sherlock number
Mhm.
for Japan. It's not like in the book for Sherlock Holmes, it's number that's different number. But if you look it up, the way that it's set up is that someone in Tokyo, essentially the 4869 when you say them individually in Japanese, it's like Saha Rosu, which means Sherlock.
Yeah.
So that's how they got it. Which, you
Yeah.
know what? I'll take it. Like, that's not even close to something I would think of, but it is actually really popular in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Like, they use that. There are different things to actually set it up that way. And it also is angel number.
Yeah. It's a
Look at
really
like
weird.
there's
It's very distinctive.
and it means it's like the angel number for acceptance.
Yeah. Like, there's another appearance where the main antagonist, the Karasuma group, develop a drug with those serial numbers. They use as a poison and dubbed it the experimental detective. And the first human test subject for the batch was actually 4869. So you have that as well. So just keep it comes up. So it comes up in weird different ways. You know, it comes up in different ways, and it's kind of cool actually.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a little bit of audio problem there, but we're back.
There we go.
You were
I don't know
breaking
where
up
I
a
left
little
off.
bit. You were breaking up a
Yeah,
little bit as I heard it, and then you couldn't hear me, so something was going on.
for whatever reason, the surround sound system in my place like turned on while I was researching, and then just took the audio. So I'm just talking, and it didn't make any noise for you though. It's like turned down. So if you were speaking, it was just like, well, too bad. Where did we leave off? My bad.
I was talking about the 4869 and the twist of the Karasuma group developing a drug with those serial numbers that they use as a
Yes.
poison and dubbed it the experimental detective. The first human test subject was 4869.
Yeah, I forgot that there was a whole. I forgot that there was actually an evil organization in the show
Yeah.
until I looked back up on Detective Conan.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they were totally cool with killing a teenager, like no problem. When they tried to take him out, they were like, "Shoot, just kill him, like just inject him with stuff." And I was like, "Wow, okay, this is where we're starting."
I mean, are you really surprised that he keeps solving them and connecting them to the crime?
No, he is. Well, he's a genius,
Yeah.
so I
I
think it
mean,
just
it's not that if it wasn't for these meddlesome kids, I would have got away with it. No, it's just Detective Cohen so good.
he's just so good. He does have like his little merry band of like kind of like sidekicks and stuff, but he does all of the solving and
Yeah,
constantly catches them up. It's unfortunate.
I really like it being like a Sherlock Holmes theme as well, like a modern version of Sherlock Holmes in its own way.
Oh, for sure. He has the hat and everything. Especially when he's in kid form. Uh and it's
Yeah.
like all you could ever hear is like, it's elementary, my dear Watson,
Mhm.
when I see him in that hat, especially with
Yeah.
the magnifying glass.
And the Gorosei numbers, which is 4869, respectively, is each digit apparently assigned with a Kumi, a Yumi, or a Regis English reading, often shortened to a first syllable or modified possible meanings. Okay. So yeah, it may overlap with a numerical theme naming. So that's how that works.
Oh, for the
Yeah, the four
six
eight six
nine.
nine. Yeah, the specific is Goi's sway numbers. So yeah, it can deal with numerical name naming. So I didn't know that. Kind of interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. 'Cause I know it means, well, it sounds out to be
Mhm.
Sherlock in Japanese.
Yeah,
The numbers.
it's like naming associated. So 4869 could, when they say it in Japanese, it could be Sherlock.
Yeah. I guess the sounding out of each number in the Japanese language, what it comes out to is Sherlock.
Yeah.
When you put them all together. So I was like, that's a neat little trick. I think it just
Yeah.
adds to the lore of the show.
Oh, why? Yeah, right. Wait, number 4 is she. Number 8
She
is ha.
Roku.
She ha. And then you have 6 mu. And then muku. She
Roku?
ha muku. I guess that's the way
There is
to.
no M in there.
Well, I also have mu and rho and q as well for 6. There's like different versions. So you have like number 1's like Hito Ishi Kazu Wan. 2 is like Fubu Pu Ni Tusu. And
Oh
3 is
my
like
god, what
Ni
list are you
Sa
on?
San Sa So Sui. And then 4 is like Shi Yo Yan. Or 5 is Go Ko Isu. 6 is like Mu Ro or Roku. And then 7 is like Nana or Shishi. Shi Chi, I mean. And then you
I was
have
gonna
Ha or
say that's
Hati for
definitely not
8.
right.
Ba Pa Ye E or Yi 2. I mean, hey, I'm just naming it. I'm naming it as I see it. And then you have
We're gonna
9 like it's Q or Caillou, I believe. And then, 2 or Jew for 10, and then the decimal point is 10.
that was a roller coaster. I don't even know where we ended up,
We were on
but
the USA number for the 4869.
I was like, I don't know how we got here, but
We
we're
got
all learning.
we got here about the numerical naming of Sherlock in 4869.
Hey, I'm gonna have to find the different iterations of it. No, seriously, because the ones that I found, they had only that first one that you said, and so the rest of them that you have, I'm gone. I have no idea.
I was using the go and save database of TV tropes. Oh man. Anyway, we got a little lost there, but let's discuss Bleach and its numerical arc number.
Theirs is the number 5,
Yes. And rightly
which
so. They have 5 come up pretty much. The main way you see it's actually in the 5 combatants, the 5 team.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess every time there's a rescue, they have
Yep.
5 members there.
Yep.
And then there is also the Quincy's, which is dominated by the number 5, which also makes sense because
Yeah, pentagram and all that stuff.
yeah, that makes total sense. And it's a cross motif. That's a 5-pointed cross that can appear both on a pinnacle and a pentagram formation.
Yep.
They also utilize the 5 seal Sniders, which is a
Yeah.
special attack to pull it off. They use 5 a lot. Oh, and they've got a designated 5 special war potentials that they take very interest in.
Yeah.
And it involves Ichigo, Kenpachi, Aizen, Yamato was excluded, but I guess there's 2 other members who
Yeah,
I
and
guess just are never revealed.
that also gets involved with the 1,000-Year War, which is, as much we want to talk about that 1,000-Year War, I think it's best to just know that the number 5 plays a special role into what they're doing to be like the answer to the saving grace, I should say.
Yeah, having such a reoccurring theme, especially in such a long show, is impressive.
Yeah.
I do know that they use other numbers as well. Like the number 9, but it seems like the number 5 is like a consistent one that they have, especially in regards to when they're sending out people to do rescue missions or be representatives for any portion of the plot, that they use all 5.
So, question: not knowing the answer. Soul Society arc. Who were the first 5 that were the rescue team for Ryuka? Go.
I know it's Ichigo, since he's the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the guy with blue hair and glasses?
That's you reach. No.
Yeah, is he in that?
Yeah.
Okay. I only know the 3. I only know like Orihime, Ichigo, the guy I just talked about, and then the dude who looks like a muscular Brock from Pokemon.
Sado.
There we go. Is that 4? Do I have 4?
Yeah, you have 4. There's one more that you might have forgotten. Hint, hint. Meow, meow.
The cat? Oh, wait. No. Is it? Oh, God. Well, see, look at me go. You know what? That would have been like an 80% on a test or something. So I'm going to take it. I'm calling it a pass. Thank you, Buff Brock. I can't remember his name. Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
Every every time I look at him, I'm just like, ah, yes, him, that guy. I don't know why I can't remember his name. I just remember him being quiet in the show when I first started watching it, when it started to come on TV, and I was just like, that guy's really quiet compared to literally everyone else. Everyone else was just screaming all the time. I just remember him being silent and
Yeah, he
strong.
doesn't want to start any conflict. He only wants to be the defender, not the attacker. So it's a little bit different.
Ah,
Yeah.
got it.
And then we have the long call arc. We have Ichigo, Yura, Sado, Renji, and Rukia to save Hime from the I believe is the Hedo Mundo? Yeah. That's an interesting arc. Well, that's probably the best arc that people affiliate is the long call arc. Even though the Soul Society arc was pretty good, usually after the long call arc is when it just kind of falls apart a little bit. But that's just me. What do you think?
I think it's fair to say that the series kind of like falls off after a certain arc. As far as I know, and everyone who like even my best friend who loves Bleach,
Yeah.
they haven't named a specific one where they were like, this was just straight trash. If anything, they wanted more of it. So when Bleach was like, people were like, oh, more episodes are gonna come out. The whole excitement was just up there. Nobody was sitting there like, oh, gross. I hope that they can help us get past, because we had that with Dragon Ball GT, where a lot of people were like, let's not. And then they were just like, yeah, it's not canon. We're just gonna move on. I don't think I've heard that for any of the arcs in Bleach. And
Now, there's the thorough arcs that are non-canon from the manga, but that's like the
oh, okay. But
full-blown
none from the
arc.
anime, right?
Though, yeah, they're in the anime, so that kind of prolonged the long call arc more. Full brings half, the bounce and something else, something about weapons. Lost Ancient arc, I think. Yeah. And then, I don't know, I think there's interesting to have 5. Like, in the 1,000-year arc, Warrior Lords depict pieces that demolish Gante 13, and 5 members in total: Ichibel, Senjumaru, Keisu, Hero, and then Taijiro. Is the, kind of remaining 5 of that. Yeah. But, yeah. And briefly, the number 9 is like,
But that one's in the 1,000-Year War, right? Where that one
yeah,
starts coming up.
99 years, 900 years, 90 years, and 9
Ridiculous.
years, and 9 years and 9 days is what I want
9
to say about.
years and 9 days.
Yeah.
Are y'all all right over there in the Bleach universe?
I
That
don't
sounds
want to
like
say too much of what it's about because it is a 1,000-year arc, and that is like major spoiling. So
okay, that's fair because it sounds like a lot's going on, and it
yeah,
doesn't sound like you guys are okay. It sounds like you guys are working through a lot together, and so see, I know that Bleach has a lot of good like a lot
yeah,
of good fights, a lot of good character development, but I think when I watched it years back, I got very confused as a kid because like Dragon Ball was very simple
yeah.
because they killed off people very quickly. But Bleach was like, we're gonna get into the story and
Mhm.
you're gonna pay attention. I could not do it. So if there is a 1,000-Year War, how far is that arc into the show though?
That's the last season.
Okay.
That's the
Christ,
end.
so many episodes.
I mean, it's not that many. You're acting like it's One Piece.
Oh, don't do that. No one
You're
ever
acting like
acts
it's
like it's
One
One
Piece.
Piece.
You acting like it's
No
One
one,
Piece.
no one ever acts like it's One Piece. One Piece people just hang it up. You take breaks. You start a family while One Piece is on.
Oh gosh, and we're still only like what 75% done. Eh, whatever announcement was that when that was like 1 year or 2 years ago.
I think so. I think it was just a year ago.
Oh boy. Talk about give a headache, understanding One Piece and how many episodes it can last.
Yeah, you're right. Bleach is only 366, and One Piece is currently sitting at 1009 because they don't care about none of us. Can you
It's still
imagine?
ongoing too. One Piece hasn't ended
Yeah,
yet.
like, can you imagine you're just trying to, like, say your one wish just to see the end of One Piece? We're like, even Betty White couldn't do that. We're doing our best out here. This is
Oh
ridiculous.
God! What a Betty White. Oh,
R.I.P. Betty, we love you.
oh gosh. But oh well, I guess yeah. Reaching 100 wasn't in the scope of the year, so I guess that was a thing.
No.
Triple digits couldn't make it.
Triple?
Oh God,
No.
that's
Well,
such.
that's pleasant.
That's
That's
pleasant.
pleasant.
Oh gosh, I don't know if that's pleasant. He at least deserved it only a few weeks before.
True. But some people were like, hey, we should just count the days that, like that 9 months where you're like in your mom's stomach. They're like, if you count those days for Betty White, she definitely hit 100. And I
Oh
was
my
like, all right, let's game the system. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. I mean, when you round up, it's 100, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. It's 100 in our hearts, and that's all that matters.
It was like 99 1 month. Well, it's rounds up to 99.
Oh, nice. It rounds up. It's fine.
Oh gosh. But the last one we're gonna do is Macross with the number 25.
I'm gonna be honest, I had never heard of Macross
You never
before
heard
this
of Macross?
episode. No, not at all.
What? Oh my gosh.
Not at all. Look, I'm
Oh,
gonna be honest. Um, it's like this one and Reborn. Like I had never heard of them until you told me about them. So it's like I'm learning. I am
all right.
learning very
Well,
interesting, different subgenres of anime.
well, Macross is a long-running anime. It's by Shoji Kapamori. With it's also along with space. It's in the same space as Space Battleship Yamamoto, Mobile Suit Gundam. It's considered one of the three ancestral pillars of anime of the space opera.
Ooh.
So you not knowing Macross is really disappointing because you know
I'm not in
Space
the
Battle,
mecha.
but you know Mobile Suit Gundam, and you heard of Yamamoto, right?
Yeah,
But you not heard of Macross. Come
I've
on.
not heard. If I have, it's been in passing. I've probably seen it 1,000 times at conventions, but like in regards to having watched it or like had anyone talk to me about it, no one has ever come up and been like, "You seen that new Macross episode?" Not once. Not even a
Ah,
little bit. Not a figurine. Nothing. So I'm over here just, and the art style is very much so like reminiscent of Gundam in my mind.
yeah.
Um, and if it's a pillar of the community, that's on me.
Yep, and then often the series is conflict with the transforming mecha. They keep changing and evolve the aliens. The power of rock comes into play as the power of love, thus forming the three main elements across humongous mecha, superpowered music, and love triangles. Oh gosh. We also have Super Dimension Fortress Macross, which is under the broadcasting system. So yeah, it has all Macross has like different installments. Like we have Super Dimension Fortress Macross, Macross Do You Remember Love? Macross number 2, Macross Plus, Macross 7. We
Macross
have
is
like
back.
Macross 7 Encore, Macross 0, Frontier, Delta, Expanded Universe. Oh my gosh, it just keeps going. Macross is out there. That's crazy.
I guess originally the franchise was supposed to be called the Super Dimension Fortress Macross was supposed to be called Battle City Megaload. Which is a terrible, terrible name. Ew. Like, why would you do that? The internet was different back then. The world was different.
10 years after an alien spaceship lands on Earth, there's a war against alien enemies sent to take their ship back. That's the short version of the show's premise. So yeah, that's what's going on there.
So it's a retrieval mecha show? Like they're doing a retrieval mission in the first one? Because the first one is the Super Dimension Fortress Macross, right? Okay.
And then
that's like
I
in
think what they did was rebrand the naming because they just like because the fandom called it Macross. So what they did is rebranded as Macross, and that basically made it Macross, and that's how the fandom viewed. That's how they named it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'm looking through because there's this like ultimate guide to Macross. So it's on otaquest.com. And so it starts off with the very first one, the Fortress one, and then there's a movie, a 2-hour film reinterpretation of it from 1984. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then the third one or the second one in the series is Super Dimension Fortress.
You like the love seat again?
Huh?
I was just looking at my dog on the love seat.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of love going on, which is very interesting. It's very dramatic. You're right. It does have that opera theme to it where they're just like, we gotta be in love in space. And I'm just like, okay. You have a giant robot, but I get it. It's just so many renditions of it. I don't know what's up with the singing. Like the farther you go down, like once you get to Macross Delta, it's just idols. It's just girl idols and virtual waifus. They just said, forget it. Get it out of here. I don't even know if the number 5 is in the last one, but they just said, forget it. They're like, we just got waifus in every hair color. Pick your pick and let's get through it.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
That's so funny. That's great. I'm gonna watch some of these because some of them are only 6 episodes long, so I'm gonna watch.
They're short, and some of them you just skim past, and it's shorter than Gumlin, so that's good. But I can't believe you don't. 2 of the pillars of space space opera, but you didn't hear Macross until today. So you know what? I'm the breath of fresh air that you needed.
You're right. You are right. I'm not even gonna deny it. I'm gonna tell everybody about this. I'm gonna be so annoying. I'm like, do you guys want to see a space opera? I'm having Galentine's Day at my house for Valentine's Day on Monday with all of my girlfriends, and so we need something to watch. Galentine's Day.
Oh my god!
Have you never seen Parks and Rec? This is a whole nother conversation, but I
don't watch Parks and Rec. I know it's just like a sitcom drama comedy, but I don't sit down and watch it.
Wow. You sweet, sweet 2D man. It's a funny show.
2D man.
If you want to watch it, I think it's on Peacock or something. I'll give you my login. But they have a portion there that's called Galentine's Day, which is normally supposed to be the day before Valentine's Day, but I think this Sunday is Super Bowl. And I want to scream at my TV for both sports teams. I don't even know who's playing.
You telling me you're gonna put, instead of Valentine's, you're gonna make it Galentimes and make it
Galentimes. Yeah.
Oh my! You know what? Macross is the perfect show for that because it's just like love
Exactly.
triangles everywhere. It'd just be like, yeah, hey, like Valentine's special.
It's gonna be nothing but
Macross with a
20-year-old
different
chicks
dimension.
getting wine drunk, and I'm just gonna have each of us just watch one episode from every rendition of the show
Oh my god!
until by the time we get to the like weird idol one at the very end, we're so tipsy from wine that we're just gonna go with it. We're probably gonna be screaming at the TV, and it's gonna be your fault. So once again, thanks to Mason. Like once again, I'm gonna have an existential crisis watching a freaking show like I did with Reborn. You have no idea what Reborn did to me. I'm still recovering. I'm talking to my therapist tomorrow because this is just not gonna work. It's not gonna work out. I need to get it out of my life. I'm still watching it and I need to finish it, but Jesus Christ.
I'm watching another anime at the moment. It's about the sport Go. It's like Hokuto
Oh,
no Go.
oh yeah. Ooh, that's an old one. What got you
Yes,
into that one?
huh?
What got you into that one?
I don't know. I was going on Verb on my app and I saw it, and it's like, huh, what is this? And then I looked at the
What is
plot, and it's
this?
like,
Oh,
what
I
is
feel
this?
so
And I was like,
old.
okay, this is worth giving a shot, and then I decently like it. It's not terrible.
It's
It's
pretty
enough.
good.
It's enough plot to keep me going. It's like, okay, this is not terrible. This is actually is decent in plot. It's not just, I don't know. Even though he has like Go Master as a
Mhm.
spirit, as a dual
As a spirit
personality,
teacher,
but
whatever. Yeah. So when that show came out, it was like competing against Yu-Gi-Oh at the time. So
yeah,
like you had similar premise. They're both playing some type of game of like intellect that most people who
yeah.
I don't know, like go to the gym or something wouldn't be into. And then they both have these weird alternate personalities that are kind of like spiritual entities that make them really good at the game.
Well, the
It's
main
a it
difference is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Everyone played Yu-Gi-Oh! In Go, not everyone plays Go.
No, not I don't even think today everyone plays Go. If I see Go normally even on TV, it's like
Mhm.
traditional Japanese,
Yeah.
like older men playing it. No, but I mean like in regards to the shows themselves, if you were to put them up against each other, unfortunately, the Shogo went like no. It just didn't catch the wave of excitement.
But
Yu-Gi-Oh
it
had dragons.
popularized the Go community.
Very much so.
It encouraged a lot of people to go for Go. They actually
Very
did really
true.
good at
I don't know
capturing
anyone.
everything about Go in the episode in the actual arc. So
Yeah,
I
well, this was
mean,
early days anime when they were
yeah,
starting to make like specialized animes for just a specific activity. Like
yeah,
that's when like Prince of Tennis was happening. This was
yeah.
before all the sports animes were really popular. So
But
like
don't forget Baby Steps.
gaming,
You still don't know
hmm
what Baby Steps was when I'm trying to introduce you to them.
a bunch of madness.
Baby Steps.
Just I feel like every time you recommend something new to me, like it's just going to cause me to like have to like close down my week and like think about what's going on because
Yeah,
I
Baby
don't know
Steps is
why.
tennis. Baby Steps is
Huh?
tennis. So Baby Steps is actually about tennis, the sport of
Is that what
tennis.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did show me this one.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
I can't remember what exactly the drawing style is. I don't know. I think it's because he slightly has a nose that it
Yeah,
made me angry. Like
and
it's
the
like
character is just like so weird. I don't know how to
yeah,
describe him. He's like so awkward, and yet he's getting really good at tennis. It's like, okay,
yeah. I
this is
don't
like a
hate
thing.
him, but I don't know why. But like when I watched a little bit, yeah. But
Back to Macross with 25. It, let's see. Macross Frontier is the 25th migration fleet. Macross class ship is called the Macross Quarter, which equals 25%. The hero mecha are VF-25. One of the characters is a 25% alien. Okay. Uh, Macross Frontier celebrates the 25th anniversary of the franchise. similar to the number 7, crops up everywhere, and across 7 to the point that they withheld 3 episodes to the series being 49. 7 squared, that's hilarious. It just keeps going. What you think of 25 and how its applications in Macross is?
I think it makes more sense in regards to Macross because I think like the themes of it is a bit bigger than some of the other shows, where at least like when you're thinking about robots, if I'm thinking about a fleet of robots or ships, I want it not to be 7. And this is really the only one on our list that isn't a bit like that's actually a big number in double digits. Everything else is besides the Sherlock number for case closed. And that one in its long list of different ways to say it in Japanese. But for Macross, I don't know. For some reason, the number 25 fits. I also think that 25 is really iconic because I think people love like whenever you do like the 25th anniversary, the 50th anniversary, something like that. And it's been on since like 1987, which is insanity. For the fact that they still made another series in 2016 to keep celebrating was really cool. So I'm impressed that they were able to make it work, but also since they do have the number 7 within the series multiple times as well, they still fall back right back into the trope. They double dip.
I think an alien being 25% alien is kind of weird. That means the alien like had a half breed and then another
human.
breed? I don't know.
I don't know.
Another as a half breed alien, half human, and another human. And then it's like 75% human and 25% alien. Yeah, you get some weird combos like that sometimes. Oh god!
For some reason, it reminds me of like Tenchi Muyo. Was it Muyo or whatever? Where it's just like by the time you get through the family tree, like you're having an aneurysm.
Yeah.
You're just like, what is happening? Why did you do this?
It's just like Inuyasha and Inigami having children after a half-blood demon with a full-fledged human.
Oh yeah, for their my god, what is the name of that one? What is I can't remember the name of their spinoff.
You saw the demon half demon princess.
Yeah, something like that. Something very long. I haven't watched it yet, and I love Inuyasha.
I need to finish watching it.
I heard it was good. I heard the discourse, and I think I didn't watch it because people were yelling about it online. So I was like, I'll come back.
I don't worry about online reviews too much because you know what? That community just gets so ridiculous.
Passionate people.
Yeah.
Strong opinions, but yeah. So sometimes when I want to watch a show and I'm like, oh, that was fun. If I want to post about it, but people are screaming about it, I'm like, I'll come back. Like even if I'm late, I'll be like, I'll come back. So that's going back on the list.
That wraps up this episode. Is there any final thoughts?
No, I think the numbers motif is probably one of the only ones that we've done in this series where you definitely notice it more as you watch the show. And the longer you watch the show, the more it pops up. But like the Teenage Warrior, the Devastated Earth, those are things that you can kind of see usually from episode 1. But this one, if you sit back, you enjoy the show, you watch it all the way through and get engaged, you're gonna see like really cool. It's kind of like an Easter egg thing to find out some of your favorite shows. So
the main premise here is the more you watch a show, the more interesting information you can pull out from the show. Maybe pull out the off numbers that you see.
That's right. I concur.
Well, I got her agreeing with me. That's all that counts. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
Bye, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Okay.
This concludes another episode of MC Anime Podcast. MC Anime Podcast is available on podcast directories like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. We also have our website at mcanimepodcast.com. If you want to directly support us, then follow Patreon blog MC Anime. Finally, if you want services for hire, then we're available on Fiverr for audio and video production, graphic design, idea consulting, and blog and article writing.